How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be testing out the new Blackmagic Autofocus, which was released in the Blackmagic Camera 9.5 update. Over here, we have the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K, the full-frame L-mount version. It's important to note that this update is only available for the cinema cameras, not the pocket cinema cameras. And over here, we have the Sony FX3 for comparison purposes. According to the NAB 2025 update, the PYXIS will also be receiving this update in the near future. As far as other Blackmagic cameras are concerned, TBD. So first impressions, I'm gonna go up close so you can see the autofocus really does work compared to the Sony FX3. The place where the Blackmagic starts to fall apart is as soon as someone leaves the frame, you see it starts to hunt a little bit. And then when you come back, depending on how long you're gone, so there it actually latched back on, right? That's pretty good. So now I'm gonna leave for a little bit longer, okay? I'm just gonna stay off to the side here, just squishing myself up against the wall. I'm gonna let the camera just give it time. And now if I come back, let's see if it latches. Yeah, you see what I mean? So what I end up doing is I just go back around, I click on autofocus, and then I go to object autofocus, and then I go back to face autofocus, and then I hope that it latches onto my face. And once it latches, it's good. But you know, that's one of the nice things about the Sony, which I still think the Sony beats the Blackmagic in this scenario. That being said, once it latches, again, it's pretty good. So if what you want is a Blackmagic camera that has autofocus, that exists now, which is amazing. Hey, Editor John here. So I did some additional tests with the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. This is not the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K, by the way. I'm on the FX6 now. I had to return the camera. The additional tests I did are a little bit more face tracking autofocus, object autofocus, and then an adapted lens, the Canon 16-35 with a Viltrox adapter. So let's take a look at those. So firstly, some additional face tracking. So for this test, I had both cameras at 35mm, and I did that whole thing of like rushing to the camera quickly, going back, pushing to the camera quickly, going back. And for those tests, the Blackmagic performed really well. Then I put this object in front of my face and try to take it away after 1 second. I did 3 seconds, after 5 seconds, and you'll see that the Blackmagic starts to struggle a little bit with this test. And if you keep something in front of someone's face for too long, it'll lose them completely and then just decide to stick to a static focus. If you move away, then you've lost your subject. The annoying thing about that test is that if you look at the back of the screen, the camera is still tracking my face. It just decided to stop actually performing the focusing. That's one of the instances that makes me feel like it's almost a bit more of a beta update, even though that's not what it's called. I do hope Blackmagic continues to advance this autofocus because it does make a world of a difference for someone who does this sort of thing. One more note on the topic of face tracking. If the person on screen turns away such that the back of their head is what is visible, the face tracking will lose its continuity. Not only will it focus hunt, but much like when someone walks off screen for enough time, it'll stop performing the focusing altogether. So up next, I tested some object tracking. So for object tracking, I used Mia, my dog's ball, and then I also used the Canon 16-35 lens. I have to say the face tracking is a lot better than the object tracking in my opinion, or at least the way I use it, I guess. If you show an object on screen and then you start to turn the object such that the shape changes and it looks different than it did originally, the camera might actually lose it and start to focus on something else. So for object tracking, you know, still a little bit of work to be done on that front, I think, but if what you're looking to do is just a little bit of B-roll, just a quick pickup shot, I think it's somewhat usable for that. So last but not least, adapted lenses. Because this camera has an L mount, which is somewhat uncommon compared to, for example, the Sony ecosystem with the E mount or the Canon ecosystem with either the EF or RF mount, a lot of people who own or might be looking to buy this camera might not own L mount lenses. Unfortunately, the autofocus without L mount lenses, at least with the test that I performed with this Viltrox adapter, are not that usable. They're still sort of like a touch autofocus. It'll focus temporarily, and then that'll be it, and then eventually it'll lose focus. It's not like a continuous autofocus the way I was able to show you guys with a native L mount lens. That's to be expected, of course, but if you found a different lens adapter that worked better than the examples that I provided on screen, please drop a comment below and let everyone know, because I'm sure that there will be certain people who are interested in that information. Honestly, I think the interesting thing with all of this is when the update actually gets to the PYXIS camera, because then it's going to be a native EF mount. So there's something to look forward to. Thanks so much for watching. If this video was useful to you and you're looking to make a purchasing decision, there are affiliate links below which are at no additional cost to you and would directly support this channel, so thank you for considering those. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.